Hood Postman, City, Hood, Click. Let's go.
Be very careful who you talk to, because you'll never know who the informant is, who the cooperating witness may be, and you never know somebody who was a friend today may have been flipped the night before and become your enemy tomorrow.
About humanity, putting truth in these lines, while they busy feeding lies. When you got that tunnel vision, gotta open up your eyes. Wake up and go to sleep. Man, I'm praying all times. And to my guys, ain't no other side. This for my brothers, I'ma pray with y'all shine. Lock the door. Go ahead, lock the door. Lock the door. Go ahead, lock the door. Yeah, you already know.
Depending on the lessons, some people eat, some people learn. But the game is gonna send you a big. Lock the door.
Lock the door. Shout out to the Mailroom Nation and the Mailroom Goons. I am Professor Melly Mail, the Hood Postman. Be sure to click that notification bell, like, subscribe, and share. Drop a comment down below so when the dope content hit, it'll feel like it's the first and the 15th. Welcome to the mailroom. When you come in and take a look at your mind, examine what's in your heart. Go anywhere in the world to get a couple of lies, but you come right here to get the truth. This is not a glorification, nor is it glamorization. It's always an education, guys. Before they had handguns, they had hand guys. Get on the bus and let me take you to school, because I am the bus driver. Shout out to everybody that's joining. Shout out to Marlon and Postmaster General Henry, Purple Rain, True Floridian. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate each and every last one of you guys. You guys are super champs up in this world of virtual. But we come to the physical, guys, where we discuss the things that's really going on. We don't get caught up in the virtual reality where all the foolishness and shenanigans and the everyday BS goes on, and narrow-mindedness seems to exist and thrive. That's not what we do over here. Today's content about, do content supersedes integrity? Let's get into that, because integrity, if you think about the word supersede, it's a subplant, meaning that it transfers, it takes the place of a person or a thing that was previously in authority. In other words, every man is responsible for his own disposition and how he create the life he had. He fashioned it with his own two hands. Integrity is the core quality of being honest. So a lot of times when people go on podcasts or go on interviews or anything, you would hope that the host or the individuals that is running the podcast or doing the interview would have a certain amount of integrity about themselves. Social media may be the latest trend, but the soul is timeless. The soul is timeless. You don't awaken by branding yourself as an avatar or a character in virtual reality, or by using fake and prop money and fake money and all this different crap that people be putting on social media to pump themselves up to look and make them to appear like they in some type of authority. Believing in something and truly knowing it are two very different things. Believing in something and knowing it are two very different things, guys. Know that. Don't be hoodwinked or fooled by people that jump on the internet and show you right on PM. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. That show you things on in virtual reality, and then it becomes believable in your world. It's not. Don't do that. Let that go, because they're trying to use propaganda and manipulate you in a way to make you believe there's something more than what they are. So here's the thing, guys. Everything is not the awakening comes from burning away everything that is not real. The journey isn't about becoming something else. It's about becoming useful, helpful, truthful, and beautiful in mind, body, and spirit. Guys, God created the physical world. Man created virtual reality. But the choice is yours. You see, and that's how I'm gonna put that, because here's the thing, guys. When I look at No Jumper, I know a lot of people, there's an entire lot of black people that somehow believe that if they go on No Jumper, it's going to improve who they are, make them more visible, and you might get more views. I don't know. I don't particularly care about that. But what I do care about is the social conditioning of black people. That is where I am. So when you see people like the Faux Extras and the Crip Max and the S Dogs and S Max or whatever, and all these other people that's been on No Jumper, from AD, T Rail, DW Flame, and so many other people that have come and gone. Even my guy ODM Slim. I love ODM Slim. That's my little young homie. I ride with him. Faux Extras, I ride with him. Crip Mac, I ride with him. But there's a place where I draw the line, because these guys, I'm telling you, they have talents on their own. They don't need even young and Hefe. They don't need a No Jumper to like give them this boost because everything in life, you got to crawl before you walk, and that's been part of our problem. We want to skip the line and go right to the front. And I say, man, people are watching Sexy Red, but it's more fundamental and sexy to be real red. That's what I say. No Jumper is a snake pit that is designed to capture narrow-mindedness, fear, lack, and scarcity, in hopes that you may go viral. That's just what it is. And just days ago, well, I don't know when it happened. I'm not going to even show the clip. I don't care about that. But what I do care about is that now, E-Money, how you doing, man? Uh, it is a microwave society. You're right. What I do care about is that the No Jumper shows, guys, are pre-recorded. So therefore, they have the authority, they have the content, right? And this is where we got to do. Content supersedes integrity. Now, this young man has legal obligations and ties to the system. You know that. But yet, you didn't care about that, because you cared about putting what these people call content, and I call it BS. It's not content. It's not content. A lot of what people is calling content is not content. It's just easier to say that. They can easily frame it and phrase it and put it out there as such, but it's not that. It's manipulation, it's BS, it's shenanigans, it's undermined, and it is social conditioning. What a lot of black people are now doing, they're so dialed in and so immersed into this culture of white supremacy that they have become supremacists themselves. Because here's what they do. Every day they wake up to tear down black people. Every day that they go out into the world, they will kill a black person. Every day they go out in the world, they will disrespect black women and so on and so forth. So therefore, what makes them different from the white supremacists? They have Eurocentric European mindsets. They are Negropeans. And when you see them coming out there doing what's going on with you, JR, when you see them acting these things out in the virtual space, you got to call it out, because if you don't, then you become part of the circus. I don't buy tickets to the circus. I've never been to the circus in my life. I don't like clowns. They have no use in my world, because I live in the real world. I live in the physical world that God created. I don't live in virtual reality. I understand what people do and why they do it. But at the same time, I don't follow down that rabbit hole, or nor do I follow behind that line of thinking, because at the end of the day, they will sell you out for change. Fake friends are like dollars change for $1. That's it. They'll change on you, man. They will change on you. Always turn your circle into a square. That way you know everybody that's in your corner. Don't be pulled in. Don't be manipulated. So what Adam did, by his show being taped, he put something out allegedly that what 4Extra said about this guy 607 Unk. First of all, 607 Unk, you're out of your element. You're from St. Louis. Don't come in there Los Angeles thinking that you somehow gonna fit into this melting pot of culture, but at the same time come in and be disrespectful and think you can get away because it's virtual, and you think you can outrun the physical part of it, the people that's in it, and you can just remain in virtual reality. Wack already does that pretty good. He's always ahead of that. He's always in virtual reality. He lives in virtual reality, and he has no very seldom seen in the physical. When he is, I'm sure that he has a whole security team around him based on some of the things he have said and done. We see people like Charleston White who claims to be this and that, and he claims to have money, but I saw him the other day with a whole bunch of fake money. Like he just, why is he putting all this fake money? I don't care about what you got. It's not helping my bank account or my net worth or my portfolio. It's not doing that. It's not doing that at all. So whatever you got, you got. It's a Matrix 2020. Some of these dudes, he's sending this guy a message. I'm on live. Some of these dudes are not thinkers. They can only autopilot, just moving through the life without a second thought. You are absolutely correct, my friend. That is 100% correct. That's exactly what they're doing. And God bless him, 4Extras haven't learned the art of emotional intelligence, learning to manage that emotion, learning to manage that intelligence, the outbursts. So he may have said something, right? He may have said something on a live. It wasn't a live. It was doing a taping at No Jumper, and No Jumper chose to put it out there for public consumption. They didn't have to do that, but being that he's a content colonizer and an ideal colonizer, and he thrives off of the suffrage of Black people, he did what he did. And that's why I say there's a percentage, a lot of Black people that themselves have became white supremacists. And if you see the people you're going to see people that's going to defend Adam. They're going to say, oh, he's just putting out the content. He's just running the show. Okay, fine. If that's what you want to believe, and that's what you think that's going on, that's fine. You get no argument out of that. But I want you to look at this. Look at this clip right here. Let's see. Let's go. This is the way you do it right here.
I saw this video that alleged that it was you involved in this crazy ass shootout. What was that situation?
Nothing. I got nothing, Adam.
Maybe it might not have been you. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't him.
But that wasn't related to any of the cases that you caught?
No. What are you talking about, white man?
Well played.
Why are you acting in foolish?
Okay. So
See, you see how you start grinning and laughing right there?
It's kind of hard to
Because he
pick
was
another
caught.
question after that.
He was caught. He was caught in his own game. Well played, youngster. Well played. And that's how it should be played all the time with that white man. He did not care that if that guy would have answered those questions, what his plight might have been, what predicament he might have been placing himself in, and what the the backlash would have been by answering those silly questions. So when people go on no jumper, they have to be aware and mindful that this guy doesn't have integrity. He believes that content supersedes integrity. That's what he believes. Because he didn't believe that, he would have never put his wife on in a sex situation with a black man to where she can get rotted out, and then he share it with the world. This is a woman he married that he has a child with. If he's willing to do that, that means he have no parameters. There's nothing holding him back from doing anything, guys. Look at it for what it is. How many of you would let somebody ride your wife out for some money? Then again, I don't know. Maybe you would. Behind closed doors, I don't know what none of you, especially you Negro pens, I don't know what you might do. But at the same time, guys, we got to be better as a people. We got to cultivate a better mindset and generally understand that the social conditioning of black people is being manipulated, is being sacrificed, is being taken charge of, is being sold to. You're still being sold on the open market as slaves. It's just a different market that you don't understand, but you're still a commodity. You're still a product that's being traded on the open market. They all in an uproar today because Donald Trump said the F word. But that's just in the true white man nature. He just being what he really is. All these other white people hide behind superficial things and want you to believe in something that's really not them. The Democratic Party has been really, really good at that. Um, I don't know, guys, because here's the thing. I mean, I can get on a community guy talk with Cornelius Brown. Amen. Um, I can get on here and say some really, really effed up things. I'm talking about some really, but I would never do it. Just because it's gonna give me more views and it's gonna give me more dollars. When I don't have to do that, I don't know. I don't know where we're going. I know where I'm going, but I don't know where a lot of you are going. I mean, people that watch this channel is pretty much well-informed individuals that look at things from objective mindset. You guys can be able to say, okay, I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna get rid of this, but I'm gonna keep this part of it. You guys are very inquisitive and very knowledgeable, and you just don't fall for anything. This no jumper guy, I'm telling you guys, he is a snake pit that designed to capture narrow mindedness, and he used manipulation and the fear and the lack and the scarcity in hopes that the individuals, they hoping that they go viral. But at the same time, they don't realize they're going viral on no jumper, not on their own platform. No jumper, true enough, has 5 million. I think it has 4 or 5 million followers. Mr. Beast have over 400 million something. He don't even do none of this type of content. Nothing. None of this stuff. And look where his numbers are. Astronomical. 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 But yet all the people that's swinging low hanging fruit, that's swinging, swiping and swinging at black people, tearing down black people, misusing black people, snitching on black people, snitching or manufacturing something for white people to make property, protect white wealth, snitch, manufacture something on black people that's doing something against white property and white wealth. That is the mindset of a lot of black people. It's unfortunate, but that is the honest to God truth. And then get on no jumper and sit up there with a straight face and pretend like everything is everything, like they're running their own program. And whatever's being said, it's not going to be edited, manipulated to fit what No Jumper's program is about. Again, he didn't have to put that out there, but he chose to do it anyway. If you really rock with 4Extras, Adam, if you really, really, really rock with 4Extras, you would have never put that out there. He would have never done that because you know that that you rock with him. He's a person that comes to your platform and gets you a lot of different numbers, but you keep wanting to fudge the marker. Everything, these people are literally addicted to going viral. That's what the addiction is. That's what social media is. Social media is like a crack. It's like once they go viral, that becomes the addiction. Then it's like I need to go viral. I need to go viral. Or even when people be talking to me, they be talking about, yeah, what's your numbers? How many times you been viral? And huh? Why is that so important? And we got a message to convey, and we got some good news that they can use, as they say, or we gonna kick the ball back and forth like soccer, as my partner Day Day West Side Stunner would say. Give yourself a chance. Don't be in your way. Advance. Give yourself a chance to advance, to do something grand. You know, I'm telling you, proper preparation prevents poor performance. Any and every day, consistency is where it's at. Some people get on here and they'll run. They'll get great numbers. The moment that stuff stops happening, oh, they devastated. They call around trying to figure out why their numbers is like that stuff is so important. It has become a great deal more important than the messaging itself and with the conversation and the dialogue and community itself. Naeem Akbar wrote a book called Community Itself, breaking the psychological chains of slavery. The psychological chains of slavery is there, and then you have to know, are you still a slave? Are you still adherent to these things that has been placed in the social conditioning of black people? And maybe that's why you have a deep desire to be around white people or be in front of them to where you impress them. You buck dancing. You bozo. I don't know. I try not to give it too much thought because I know there's far more greater things in life than just that, especially in each and everyday life experiences. Every day is a new experience. No day is the same, But sometimes we get repeats. Sometimes people get caught up in the culture. They get caught up in the culture that where things are changing. Life is changing every minute of the day. A matter of fact, what we call change, time is really just change. But it's happening so fast, some people can't keep up. That's why you see people walking around with jerry curls and curlers in their head or something way out, or some ridiculous style that went out years ago because they're stuck in that era. They're stuck in that time frame. Their minds won't allow them to expand and go somewhere different. They caught up, unable to turn the corner. And here I am, simply just being patient and just giving you the best of me that I can possibly give. RDL, what's happening, man? Yeah, you're right, low rider saying approve. You're right. Adam don't care about the black people or encouraging them to throw them under the bus. You are so right, bro. You are absolutely correct. But what should be our posture? I mean, do we keep on talking to our people and encouraging them to be more than what white people acceptance is? You know, why is they hanging on to that so much? Why is that so important? You know, why is the aesthetics of gang culture even at this point such a major thing? Because at the end, it's all whether it's um, hip hop had to find a husband, and at some point, it proposed to gang culture, and they married now. Gang and hip hop are married, right? There's nobody over the jazz, contemporary jazz, rockabilly, rock, soft rock, pop, even R&B. There's nobody over there doing drive-bys or unaliving one another. Only in hip hop, because hip hop is actually tied to the culture of gangs, and gangs were created by a person that was 15 years old years ago, named Raymond Lee Washington. So it has a mercurial. It's mercurial. It's unpredictable all of a sudden and wayward. It's moody. It has mood swings. It can't be controlled. So it has a 15-year-old mindset attached to it. When do it becomes mature? When does it mature enough to say enough is enough? Let's draw the line and let's reestablish ourselves or rethink our position in this culture that we keep immersing ourselves into, and thinking that things is going to be better. And I don't care if that Damu Keyway, whatever, BDGD or however you want to frame it, it's all the same. They're just called by different names. Yeah, Rooted in Santana, built on the block. That was me at one time. But at the same time, I had to mature. I had to learn more things. I had to provide myself with better tools and better options to communicate, because communication, ability to apologize, and having integrity, you know, none of that is optional when it comes to being a man. What's going on, Knows? What's happening? That my guy Knows right there just jumped in. Salute to you, bro. So if we still caught up in this mindset, this particular mindset, and then the kids don't know no better because it's been passed down, passed down, passed down. And man, you ought to see some of the bitterness in some. Man, sometime when I be out and about and I see people that came from that world, or and not all, there's some, you know what I mean? And they might have been on the opposite side of what I was, right? They look at me like, wow, like they can just, do something to me, you know what I mean? But I'll be prepared, but it's just, but that's none of their business and none of your business on just what that preparedness is. But it's interesting to me that they looking at me like that. You know what I mean? Like they want to take it back to 1972, 73, 74, 70, somewhere down in the 70s or somewhere possibly in the 80s. That's where they want to go with it. I've been talking to 60 years old. I'm talking about 60s. And they'll be saying, yeah, blood, blood. I'll be sitting there like, okay. And they be, yeah, cuz, cuz. And I'm be like, yeah, okay, for real. I be tickled to death to know that somebody been unable all this time at being on the planet for 16 odd years has not been able to expand their vocabulary beyond gang communication. That's hilarious. Again, if I walk into Bank of America, if I walk into Navy Federal or school credit or whatever it is, or I walk into Wells Fargo, Caldwell Bankers, any of those finances, I'm gonna say, yeah, cuz, I'm here to fill out for a loan, cuz. What do you think is going to happen? I go into Mercedes. Yeah, blood. I'm gonna buy blood. Hook me up with a loan, blood, so I can buy. Is that the communication you're gonna use? Because that communication in the financial world, in the business world, has no place. But yet, what sustains you, makes you credible in this world is the fact that you walk in with being able to communicate, being a respecter of people, and be able to take in information and comprehend the information and be able to get feedback and not be sitting there babbling on something that you got from the gang culture side of the game. It's just, it's funny, man. It's just so funny, you know. Not my today's language. Yeah, no, you gotta change it, bro. You gotta change it. You cannot. You cannot negotiate deals or business like that under those pretenses or circumstances. You know, you gotta be assertive. You know, you gotta be credible. You gotta mean what you say and say what you mean. But you gotta be able to authenticate who you are as an individual, and yet my EIN number and my social speaks way before I do. I done walked into car dealerships, right? And just to give you a case in point, I tell them I want to buy that car right there in the showroom floor, that car. Yeah. And they looking at me. And okay, well that car costs such and such and such and such, right? Okay. How you plan on paying for this? Well, I might want to finance. I might want to lease it. I don't know. I'm just, check it out. But give me some numbers. Let's see how they work. Blah 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 blah. They talk to me like really like offhanded. It's like offhandedness talk, right? It's not like really like, is he real? Is he serious? The moment I hand them my social and they run it, Mr. Gibson. Oh my God, Mr. I got news for you. You're approved and blah 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 blah. Blah. They whole demeanor and everything about them changed immediately. Because when I walked in as a black man that they were unaware of who I was business-wise or financially. So they already had a preconceived idea, notion of or what they thought I was. But the moment they read my credentials, I ain't never seen people kiss so much ass. I thought I was tripping. I had to stop. Wait a minute, man. Hold can you give me a minute? Walked outside. Me and my wife walked outside. We started busting up. I said, did you see that? She said, yeah. She said, yeah. This is some real stuff. So after we had our laughs, we joked it off, we went back in. This dude's still smiling like the Jolly Green Giant. And yeah. And I bought that car off the showroom floor for my wife. Yeah, sure did. But not one time did I say cuz. Not one time did I say blood. Not one time did I say my nigga. Not one time did I say on the dead homies. Or did I say, come on, gang? You know what it is, gang? Come on, gang. Or did I say Crip Street? I didn't say none of that. All I did was give him my credentials, gave him my driver license, and everything began to speak for itself once he punched it in. That's where you want to be. That's where you want to be. Because at the end of the day, when you entrust people with your information, they can see things about you that don't necessarily, that you don't know that they can see. They can, because now they're pulling up a whole profile. See, because anytime you go past 5 years, paying bills on time, taking care of all obligations, facing anything that life brings you, and they got a record of that for 5 years. Boom, 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 boom. No blemishes, no fall-offs, no droughts, no collections. It opens up to you. You stop even being black at that point. And that's how you change your circumstances, by being assertive. That's how you change your circumstances. Now, you can take anybody who got, and I'm going, we was talking about this, no Adam 22 stuff, but at the same time, I think all this stuff is relevant because I'm trying to give you something. Other words, I'm providing. There was a guy, his name was Deja New, and I'm going to start talking about Fed money. He was named Deja New. He ran the golden triangle of the heroin trade out of Thailand. Halim, what's going on, man? Appreciate you, bro. Assalamu alaikum, Marquis. He ran the golden triangle. His name was Golden. His name was Deja New. Wrote a book about him and everything. He owned all kind of commercial properties in San Francisco. And he had a little tax problem. So he was there briefly for a moment. He took care of it. But anyway, he was in Terminal Island with me. And he used to come to me, you, my friend, come on. I'm gonna show you a map. I'm gonna give you a map. You need nothing else. Once I give you a map, you know how to get rich. I'm gonna give you a map. And he used to talk about a map all the time. What's this map? He said the map is what leads you to pot of gold. He said your people, they don't share no map. My people, we share map. Jewish people, they share map. Other people, they share map. Your people hide map, but then they have no map. So, reason why I'm sharing this. So Deja Nu was the chief of the Golden Triangle of heroin. They couldn't get him in the heroin business, but they got him on taxes. And we did our bid together, and I watched him go home. And he gave me a lot of game. While I was in there, these people had me reading Rob reports. They had me reading the Washington Post, the New York Times, the Page Six, all these different magazines, and they was in there charting. But these people was following the market from federal prison by doing charts and everything. You know what I mean? They never stopped thinking about money. Never. Everything was consistent with them. And that's why I'm going to do the series on Fed money and talk about it. But anyway, if you got bad credit, right? No worries. You can go to AI chat, right? And ask it for the letters to challenge this. Because see, there's nobody, if you see, everything is a contract. Everything is a contract. If you did a contract with, say, what's the name of it? CarMax, right? And you forfeited on the contract. They took the car, whatever. Now you have a repossession. Your contract is with CarMax. If CarMax decide to sell that financial burden to another company, you have no obligation to that other company. So they can't prove that you signed anything with. There's nothing in writing. There's nothing. They don't have you on the phone. So as long as you never get on the phone with them and give up anything, you can go right in the AI, CPA chat, whatever it is, and get the letters and send these guys these communications, challenging them. Okay, what is my original name? When did we design this contract? And I can't remember the verbiage verbatim what it is, but the letters are all there on all three agencies, and you send them, right. Then you turn around and take $500 to $1,000 and put it in a secure bank account. You want a secure credit card. And you purchase things and you pay it off. You purchase things and you pay it off. And within a year, they're going to give you your $500 or your $1,000 back, and they're going to increase your credit limit. This is building trust. It's showing your ability to have worthiness to pay, right? Once you do that, you go down to Daniel's or Kevin's and get a jury account, buy a couple whatever, pay it off. Your next step, you go to Best Buy. You get a Best Buy card, maybe buy your laptop or something. You pay it off. And thirdly, you go to Walmart and get you a Walmart card. With them three cards, you got a credit card, you got Walmart, you got Best Buy, and you got a jewelry account. Let those accounts run 2 to 3 to 5 years, and your credit score will begin to grow. Grow, 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 grow. But you have to be consistent, and you have to be timely with paying bills. And that's just a simple way of doing things. That, my friend, is a map. That is a map. That is a map that just been shared. There's multiple maps. There's other maps that are complex, you know what I mean? But that is a simple one. That is a simple one right there. And if you want to, you can buy trade lines if you want to, because I actually sell trade lines. I got $30,000 and $40,000 trade lines that I sell because I have that type of credit. Um, yeah, you can also do that too, and add to it, and it actually increase and boost your status. Because if you're linked to me, I have, let's see, from 2000, I got out in 2010, 11 I started, so I got 2011 to 2025 of history of credit, of being timely and no defaults, no collections. So you can just about imagine what my credit score is. It's nowhere near 6. I'm gonna put it that way. It's nowhere near that. But anyway, just yeah. Of course you do, Professor, with your 23 job. So this is why I say you don't need an Adam 22 to become professional. You don't need an Adam 22 to become more than what you are. You just need you. And you need to get out of your own way. And you need to follow the maps. There are plenty of maps. There's always somebody somewhere that's willing to share a map. Everything that you see around you and all these people you see around you, it's just like, I'm going to use Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson, where he would come out of Michigan State. He didn't know anything. He didn't know anything. Michigan State didn't teach him to be the ultra businessman. They taught him little things. They taught him a little bit here and there. But what I'm saying, ultimately, what learns you is being in it, putting your hands on it. So when you go around 10 businessmen or 10 multimillionaires and you're not there yet, you will become the 11th by just associating and listening and following their directions. It would be impossible for you to be anything else. So Magic he was assertive. He learned from Dr. Buss and other businessmen, and he learned what to do. YT don't like you giving out gas. uh, you know, he learned what to do, and now he's this mega guy that's behind the scenes. And just think about this. The Lakers just sold for $10 billion, right? 2 or 3 years ago, the Lakers called themselves pushing Magic Johnson out, right? But Magic Johnson has become a very, very shrewd businessman, and the business people that he's in a coalition with, in a group with, they are very, very, very powerful people. And Magic Johnson is the face, but they are the money. And they have allowed Magic to become pretty much a billionaire, just being the face, just being Magic. But at the same time, Jeannie Buss and all them other people that was running the Lakers didn't realize that Magic Johnson at some point was going to backdoor their ass. They're not going to tell you this up front. They're not going to explain it to you like that, but I'm telling you, with the guy that owns the Dodgers, love him some Magic Johnson, because Magic Johnson guided his hand to become even more richer than he can ever imagine. Because Magic Johnson now to do this. Smile shake hands, and tell you how great he is. That's it. That's it. That's what's called being assertive. But if you're using that energy and time to be assertive as a gang member, a street urchin, a knucklehead, then eventually that energy will evaporate, and it's not even useful in the world. It's not. You will be part of what they call the infirm, the old, the people that they look to get rid of. You know, you saw people doing COVID out. They was out of there, out of there, out of there, out of there. Wars, all these things, wars, locking people up, disease, all these things have purpose, and they will never go away. And when they want to eliminate and downsize, the oligarchs and the super mega rich people will do what they have to do. A well-placed pond, a well-placed pond can be more powerful than a king and a queen. Game over. Once the king is captured, the game is over. All the pieces go back in the box. But, you know, my people, for whatever reason, seem to be caught up in the psycho-philosophical vehicle, spiritual and intellectual slavery that has three ends: underestimate, undervalue, and undermine. And that social conditioning right there, it what ties you into the European mindset. It ties you into the indoctrination, and it ties you into now that you are acting in accordance to the white supremacists because you have white supremacist ideologies. You get on social media, you tear down black people, you talk about black people, you incriminate black people, and you just do everything. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, guys. Don't think that I'm not guilty of some of this stuff that I'm saying. It's just that I became aware and knowledgeable, and I began to like, wait a minute, man, why is I'm doing this dumb? Why? When I can just focus on all these other stuff, right? There's people that send me literature and communication from accounts that I don't even know I be forgetting I even have. Yet I just walk around normal. I'm just normal. I'm not doing anything. I don't care. You know, you believe what you want to believe. That's fine with me. That doesn't change what I do or how I do. It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't change it. Doesn't change it at all. That is a real thing right there. All that, 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 all that. Everything from Home Depot to whatever, all that, all that. Should I say it? That is $300,000 worth of credit right there. And I did that coming home from the feds, but paying attention to the people that were there that was teaching it. You need two of those cards, please, and thank you. I was paying attention to the people that was teaching it, the financial people, the Walter Hosts, the Arthur Morrisons. My partner, Alfonso Mason, taught me the law. Deja New, Asian guy, even Doc, who was a doctor. I tried to get him to listen to me, but he didn't listen to me. And then he wound up in Terminal Island. He said, "Man, brother, I should have listened to you. I should have listened to you. I watched his beautiful wife and child come up there. She come up to Terminal Island in a Rolls Royce, and finally she told him, I can't do it no more, honey. You should have took the year and a day. Now you got 20. We got big mansion in Coronado, San Diego. I got yachts, mansions. We got boats. We got everything. I must find a way, but I can't keep coming here." He was devastated. Fed money. Fed money. Dennis Nicholas Rash beat the casinos out of 16 million. The Rash brothers. Look them up. Not lying to you. I had no reason. Man, we're going to talk about these other people. Mark Biggins, bank robber. I'm talking about, man, some of the financial geniuses that I knew from doing Fed. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Shout out to everybody that ever come to this platform and take time out their day to listen to some of the things I have to say versus the foolishness and the buffoonery that other people spill. The ship chasing, uh, the ideology, code switching, identity changing, and all the other different stuff to where they're concerned about if this dude was, did he hold the integrity of the gang or did he tell or whatever, all that stuff, Telling's been around since Adam and Eve. I think Adam told on Eve. It's just nothing you can do about that. But what you can do is don't let somebody in your business. They can only tell what you let them learn. They don't know your business. They can't tell it. JC, what's happening, man? My good partner, my good friend, JC, how are you, sir? Glad to see you here, man. Just on here teaching today, man. Just on here teaching. That's what that's what I come in for. I come for, and you know what? And it gives me great inspiration. I'm inspired. I'm genuinely moved and happy when I'm doing this. And I do it best. Big Top Bank, I do it best when I'm by myself. I'm not talking about on live or anything. I'm talking about by myself in my own little space, you know, peaceful my way. That's it, man. I do it best that way. It flows. Yeah, it flows. And I'm not here bragging. I'm not here to shame. I'm not even here to boast. I'm just giving you simple knowledge, a better way to get to where you're trying to go. And it's just automatically it's just baby steps. Crawl before you walk. And if you take the initial steps to do certain things, you'll be there in no time. Be good, be good to yourself, and be good to good people. I'm doing what's going on with you, bro. I'm just, on here to go. I'm just on, man, just on here sharing, man. I appreciate you stopping by, dropping in, and just listening because I'm not going to share nonsensical stuff. I'm not going to, or there's times when I get into aspects of our culture that we need to learn because history is medicine for a sick mind, and within history is a variety of human experiences we can teach and learn from. So if we're teaching, we have to sometimes digest the stuff that we don't like and open it up and lay it out on the table and look at it. Because like I tell everybody, gang banging came from a 15-year-old mindset. Now, whether they want to adhere to that or understand that or comprehend what I'm saying is that when are we going to mature and grow up? Because none of the things that you learn from that are useful in today's world. None of it. You can't go into financial institutions and I just explained what to do, how you get to financial freedom, how you get there, and understanding that there are maps and there are individuals that hold maps. But if you don't know how to cut into them or slide up into them and ask them certain questions, they will provide you with certain information and intelligence and a know-how and ability to achieve what it is you're trying to have in this life. And you're just spinning your wheels because here's the thing. This is Napoleon Hill. Let me give you guys this before I get up out of it. Napoleon Hill said one of man's most powerful emotions he have is his desire to have sex. If he somehow harness it and transmute it into a monetary equivalent, he'd be that much further ahead. Black men spend an enormous amount of time, thank you, bro, chasing tail. And we took that time and energy and put it into the brick and mortar, the foundation of who we are and what we're going to be. We wouldn't have to look for no tail. It'll look for you. Napoleon Hill, one of the most brilliant business minds ever. He learned his thing from Andrew Carnegie, who was one of super industrials. You got books that call super industrial or super industrial. Go read those books by Andrew Carnegie. And you will understand how America became America and then how it exploited Black people and took your free labor and turned it. DuPont, J.P. Morgan, and all these other big major financial institutions, how they became even Tiffany's. Yes, Tiffany's. Tiffany's original business was cotton. And I don't think they don't owe you nothing. Come on, man. That's a game. That is game right there, man. They exercise so much game on our people, man. It's just not even. And the crazy part about it, how they keep you baffled and bewildered and buffaloed is that they allow you to be Christians, Muslims, Hebrew Israelites, Moorish Science Temple, Crips, Bloods, GDs, BDs. We got too many darn labels. Too many darn labels. That's why we're so divided. That's why we don't move as a collective. That's why we can't get anything for our vote because we don't know how to move as a collective. Because again, the Negropean mindset is that of the white supremacist. He has duplicated himself in blackface, but the thinking is white supremacy. That's why degradation, misogyny, misandry, the undermining of Black culture exist within Black people. That's why Black people unalive Black people and don't think twice about it until they put in that cage for 100 years, and then that's when they want to become staunch Christians or Muslims or something, and they find religions, and then even that, that's still a tool that's working against them. Social media may be the latest trend, but the soul is timeless. Social media may be the latest trend, but the soul is timeless. God created physical reality. Man created virtual reality. And, until we drop in again, guys, you know what I'm always going to say? Don't mind me, just watch it. Church moving, but go ahead and lock that door. I'm gone.
Cali finest, baby. Proof of grind all the time. Music money. Got a dollar sign. Hub City. I'm a street nigga. Streets fuck with me. I'ma keep pushing products till the fans get me. It's guap off top. Diamond Cartier. That nigga wall won't give a broke bitch the time of day. They see me climbing. They see me shining. That's hard work. Proof of grinding. New money got me tipping in that 550. Ali, bad man, and I'm so pretty. I got that tech with me. That's my hater sprayer. Go big, grind now, nigga, play later. What can I say? I'm addicted to this paper stacking. And I don't talk about it. I just make it happen. Word on the block is that my shit go. Reach for the low.
Marlena Williams, lock the door because we are gone. We definitely gone this time, Marlena. Talk to you soon. Bye.